Well, folks, if you're new to this channel, then you've probably never seen any kind of podcast on here ever. We just have not got around to it for 2 years now. I've been trying to get everything in order to build this podcast set in this garage that we pretty much do everything out of. This is where I edit. This is where I do my taxidermy. It's where I do projects for the house. I mean, literally everything goes in here. Skinning animals, blah, blah, blah. Just so on and so on and so on and so on. But we live in Bidenverse. No one can afford to get ahead. Every time we begin to think, oh, I got this bill covered, I'm going to have a little money, the next month comes around and it's the next round of bills, and it just bam, 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 bam. We cannot get ahead in the society they have built now. The pandemic did exactly what they wanted. Everybody fell in line like y'all were supposed to. Here we are, 4 years later. We all know it was bullshit. The coronavirus was a complete fucking lie. More than likely in the water, just like all the other tests where they tested and found hormone blockers and whatever else, causing men's depression the last couple years. Who knows how many suicides, how many people lost their family members because of this shit, on top of how many businesses were lost, on top of how many people just lost their way, lost their mind. I myself, I feel like I've lost my spark, you know, like I used to love to hunt and fish and go out and film this stuff and post as many videos as I can, and you know, it's just, it takes so much out of each and every one of us each and every single day to get up out of bed, work your tail off, pay these outrageously inflated bills just to know you're not going to have any money at the end of it. You know you're going to sit there and you're going to work and all you're going to do is get by until the next fucking month. Now some of you may have, you know, maybe you got something better going on and you have a significant amount of money coming in. Good for you. Most people don't. Another thing, some of you are just born into it. You don't even have a say. You don't have a dog in this fight if you're just born into it and don't understand the struggles the rest of the people have to go through. That's what this podcast is going to be about. It's going to be about the people's point of view. I want people to come in here. I want to talk to whoever. If you got opinions against me, that's cool. We can have a conversation and talk about it. I don't mind throwing fists either, but I would rather everybody get their point across, and let's start to find some common ground, unite as people, and get our fucking country back. This has got so far past hunting, so far past just struggling in life with bills and kids, blah, blah, blah. Everything is so far past everything in this giant web of corruption connection. Tyranny is all I can say. Tyranny is what we live in right now. We thought this was the land of the free and home of the brave. Where are the brave? Those little boys you pluck out of high school and make them think they're going to be heroes and work their ass off, yell in their face, and turn them into cattle that listen. And then what do? When they're used up and you're over, they throw them out. And then, what is it? The VA, where they just about can't get any fucking help. The PTSD, the soldiers who just commit suicide, they're too young to be plucked out of high school and thrown into war. You can't smoke or drink, but you can die for this country. That makes no fucking sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to anybody. What sense does that make to you as a person? You can die right now, but you can't smoke or drink. You can't be an adult, but you can die as long as you're getting our point across. I don't know about y'all. I'm over it. I'm sick and tired of waking up every single fucking day and working my ass off and having almost nothing to show for it. I'm not one to stop working. I just continuously work. And it seems like the only days I have off where I'm like, oh, I might do a little fishing and get some kind of video for my YouTube channel, which, you know, it's burning out because I don't want to get up anymore and grind 4 or 5 different things out, including working to pay for all the bullshit, fucking home life to keep the house and the property looking okay, the licenses and shit. They literally doubled all fishing and hunting permits right before, like months before they pulled all this shit. You can't tell me it's not connected. And for all you conservation cucks, I know what conservation does. I know why we need conservation. Do you really believe anybody in the DNR or the conservation, do you believe any of them give a fuck about any of you or the animals? Because they don't. They don't put together programs and go clean up parts of the lake coves, any areas that are not recreational, they don't even fuck with. Creeks and rivers, they don't fuck with. And I'm here to say this right here now. Lake Monroe is a stage 3. The creek that runs through it that they dammed is Salt Creek. On the other side of it, on the other side of the dam, it's a stage 5. That is a do not eat. Do not eat. A stage 3, the park ranger himself told me it is not advised for pregnant women to swim in that lake. You're telling me there's been no public warning. Not one single public warning, hey, the lake's a stage 3, might not want to go in there. You want to know why? Because the lake generates money. Lots and lots of money. We've got kayakers, canoers, boaters, rafters, fucking fishermen, people that hunt and use the lake to hunt around it. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on of how much revenue they make off of the polluted waters that they caused. They're not doing it. It's 2024 and it's getting worse. It cannot get worse if they're doing any type of effort to make it better. It cannot get worse. Statistically, you can't put efforts to make things better and them get worse. It's not possible. So if that's happening, they're putting efforts to make you believe over here, look what I'm doing, oh, I'm so good, while meanwhile they're actually not giving a single fuck about you. It's just a branch of the government. Every fucking branch of this tree of the government is corrupt. You know it, I know it. Stop fucking lying to yourself about it. I stopped lying to myself about all of it. And it all comes to light. I started walleye fishing about 10 years ago, roughly. Never had any desire. I was a bass fisherman and a cat fisherman. Those were my main 2 species I targeted. Targeted just about everything, but I didn't target walleye. A buddy talked me into it. First year, 40 some odd fish is what I actually landed. I don't know how many I actually caught because there's undersized limit, you let them go, whatever. But landed, took home 40 something in the entire year, right? Hooked all kinds. Next year, half of that. The next year, half of that. It's been 2, maybe 3 years since I've even caught a single walleye. What they do at Lake Monroe is they dam it for flood control, okay? So they flood control the lake in this bottom below it so that whatever's below Salt Creek, as if this would make any sense because it flows into White River, which is a much bigger body of water. But they act like this is going to make the difference. So flood control, they're stopping people's houses from being flooded. Bullshit. Such a lie. Not even close to true. You're not stopping anything. What happens is they drop the water really low. All the fish start to do their thing. They bring it up. They spawn. So when they spawn in all these rocks, which is normally where you're standing when you're fishing there, then they drop the water back down. Dries out all the eggs. Hundreds of thousands of fish killed by the DNR, by the Army Corps of Engineers, because just another branch of the government that doesn't work with each other. They work against us if they're working with each other. So this water now, they do this 2 or 3 times in the spring, right? During the whole time they're spawning, and then they kind of stop doing it, as if that's not fishy. It has to get a significant amount of rain for them to start fucking with the water levels again. They act like they're going to control it all in spring is what they tell you. Oh, we're going to control it all in spring, no floods, blah, blah. It's not true. It's not true. All the spawning happens, they dry out the eggs, they start over. It got worse, so I pointed it out from the very beginning of walleye fishing. This is weird, why are they doing this? I thought they're supposed to protect species, blah, blah, blah. They do not. The water's already corrupted by whatever, factories, some sort of pollution somewhere. So it's already corrupted. Then they turn around, kill all the eggs. What else is happening in the same body of water? They stopped us from being allowed to cast net or dip net any bait fish within 500 feet of that dam. Well, 500 feet, or maybe 500 yards. I can't remember, but it's a really good distance from that dam. There's 2 things that hoard up there heavily. Shad and Asian carp. Both babies and adults. We have shad, I mean, almost 2 foot long shad. We got carp from 2-3 inches all the way up to 50-60 pounds. Those fish are taking over the water in these areas. They're called invasive species, yet there's not a single form of effort towards taking them out. They can lower and heighten the water all they want, but they don't ever talk about, well, we can just bring a net in, drop the water, clean out the carp, bring the water back up, and let loose all the other fish. How hard would that be? How hard would that actually? It's not hard. One day and some rednecks could get it done. I'm just saying, I'm talking from my personal experience in my home area. This area alone, I can tell you how much corruption's going on. Another example, I run trail cameras on just about anywhere I'll actually put time in and hunt. A place I grew up squirrel hunting with my dad. We used to camp out there, but they don't allow that anymore. But somebody's was like, oh, I'm going to go squirrel hunting, you know, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, well, I got a spot. So we go out there, been years, deer sign everywhere. So I'm like, oh, man, I need to set some trail cameras in here and give it a shot. So I stick up some trail cameras. Dude, there are does, there are bucks, there are bobcat, there's coyotes, there are literally so many species of animals running this little valley, a little runoff water valley between 2 thickets. So I'm like, this is a sweet spot, you know. I didn't get to hunt it much because it's a bit of a poke from my house to go constantly. And at the time, my vehicle was down, so I had to bum rides that entire season to get to hunt at all. So I'm expecting the next year I can hunt this place a little better. I'll put in the time. I've got the camera, so I'll put the cameras back out. We'll see if the same deer are running it. I'm getting nothing on camera. I'm like, this is weird. There's like a doe or two. So I start to look around. Not even 50 yards up on the hill, what was a brush thicket. I mean a thicket. That's why all the deer were there. The DNR came in, took it all out. The whole thicket. The entire bedding area. No reason. There's absolutely no reason. There's no sign of anything up into that bedding area. Just they drove in, cleared that bedding area, said fuck it. If they're supposed to improve the game, they're improving the habitat. How is taking a brush hog and trees that big around, flat, entire bedding area, how is that improving habitat? I'm not allowed to cut a twig in the state of Indiana on public land. It's not. I might be able to break it, but you can't cut it. You know what I'm saying? So if I can't cut it, why can you come in with equipment and destroy the entire habitat so much so that the animals are not there? They weren't there the entire... So I ran cameras 3 months in that area. No bucks. Never once did they get on... The does weren't even there like they were the year before. This is the DNR doing what the DNR do. They step in, they fuck it all up. We're helping, and they don't help. They don't improve. They dropped it from $2 to $1, said it was going to be 5 years, blah, blah, blah. In the same time frame, they jumped up how many does you could kill. For a minute there, we were able to kill 8 does per county, and they're sitting here telling us, oh, we have so many does, we have to thin them out. So as hunters, we're doing what the conservation officers are telling us to do, and this is when I'm still young, so I'm thinking they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. I should be doing my part to help them do that, correct? Y'all would do the same if they were like, hey, we got this many does, y'all need to take out this many does so the population's healthy. You do that because that's what they told you to do. Now that I'm 33 years old, I'm not a young pup, I'm not an ignorant fucking fool who listens to everything the DNR and conservation officers say. It's a lie. They took away the $2 so that you had 1 trophy per year. They raised the amount of does you could kill so there was less deer. Now each county is like 2 deer per county. This is in 6 to 10 year span is when this happened. So from 6 to 10 years they went from 8 to 2 does per county. So I'm getting 6 deer less in my freezer because of them, one way or another. They're not doing their jobs. They're not protecting these animals. They're not protecting them from poachers. I know all kinds of poachers. Bad poachers. I'm not talking about I need a doe, I'm starving, and they go out and get a doe. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who go out and shoot $5-6 a year, cut off their fucking head and waste the meat. Throw it on a fence. Y'all know plenty of those motherfuckers. I hate people like that. I specifically take my time to try to kill one very mature, good looking buck. Or if I can get in a reduction zone that year, which I haven't in the last year, maybe two, then I'll go after my reduction doe, then my reduction buck. But it's called earn a buck. You have to go to those zones to do it. Right now I don't have one of those zones. So, why do these people want 5 fucking deer heads each year? They're not mounting them. They're just, half of them just rot on a fence. I'm not even gonna lie. Some of these people just throw them on a fence and let them rot. Some of them throw them in a garage, let them rot. They don't do anything with them. It's not a mount. It's not a real story. It's not a trophy. It's a poached animal they don't give a fuck about. It's all for the rack. Same people that give a fuck about the rack as the DNR. They will literally give you a steeper fine. I believe it's per tine. So more tines, more fines. It's about trophies. It's about bullshit. It's about money and revenue and BS. And you can't stop poachers by being a poacher. And we see these DNR officers out here being poachers. Old Cross Eyes, everybody fucking knows who that is in the area. This dude will write you a ticket for anything he can come up with. I think it was last year, he shoots a buck, can't find it. The next day, goes back in, shoots another buck, finds both of them. Miraculously, they both show up dead. He doesn't get a fine, he gets both deer. That don't happen to any of us. That only happens to the people that are in the system, the corrupt motherfuckers who get away with it. We're all tired of it. We're all sick and fucking tired of struggling day to day in this bullshit we call freedom, this bullshit we've all cared about, this flag that means so much to all of us. Right now, what does it mean? We're letting it mean nothing. We're letting the Democrats fuck the entire country up. For 7.5 years, they've ridiculed President Trump. Then, false President Biden, the entire time he's in here playing with his blocks and crayons, they're still attacking Trump. For his entire time, he fought with them to make the country better. He was making the country better while being attacked the entire time. Then, you fucking whiny crybaby bitches, get your fucking way, which you didn't vote. We all know it wasn't a voted-in presidency. It was just, he won, fuck him, this guy won. We all know that's how it went down. We're not stupid. We're not fucking stupid. If you are stupid, that's your problem. But the majority of people are not. The majority of people know it was a falsified fucking presidency. The majority of people know President Trump won both terms. The majority of people understand that when you take a single president and ridicule him the entire time and make it hard for him to do his job, where he's already doing a great job, but you're making it hard for him to get anything done. Then, when he starts to run for the next round because they cheated, they fucking ridicule and chase him and court date and this charge, that charge. It's one fucking thing after another because they don't want him to be president. They know he will fix this economy. Their corruption is over after this. One way or another, there is nothing after this. If he is not president at the end of this year, well, beginning of next, if he does not get presidency, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think all these pissed off motherfuckers who have lost their businesses, lost their fucking, some of them lost their families because money is a big thing. Money will literally tear people apart. So they've lost families, businesses, they've lost friends through suicide. You think all these motherfuckers who are pissed off and lost everything are going to stop right there? Oh, you won again. I know you cheated, but I don't care. That's not happening. If they cheat again, there will be a war. That January 6th lightweight shit that you guys want to call terrorism, that's patriotism. Patriotism, stepping the fuck in. They pussed out, in my opinion. They should have got the fucking job done so the rest of us could actually enjoy the freedoms that was fought for the last 200-300 years in this fucking country. We're all mixed bloods now, so the Native American talk needs to be out of it too. I have Native American in me. I have Cherokee and Blackfoot in me. I'm Irish. I'm fucking Dutch. I've got multiple things in me from multiple places. Some are from here. I'm not going to do that argument where they're not. You guys lost. As a fucking species, we need to understand, as Native Americans, We didn't win a fucking war, we lost our land. Well, you didn't get slaughtered, so shut the fuck up and call it good. They didn't kill you out and erase your history like they did the majority of history, so just call it fucking good and let's get the country back from the corrupt and make it free again. You can't argue about what happened 200-300 years ago. You can't. Makes no fucking sense. If I wanted to argue about that, we'd still be arguing about our forefathers and their decisions, where they should have been more stern, apparently, on certain amendments meaning something. We all deserve the right to a gun. They take that away the second they can. Oh, you did some, you can't have a gun anymore. That's simple. A restraining order alone, you can't have a gun. I do believe in this country, if you have a restraining order on you, you cannot have a gun. That's fucked. That's taking away one of your amendments over potentially someone just saying they don't want to be around you or don't like you. Usually it's an ex-baby mama who can't get her fucking head out of her ass, a useless motherfucker. Y'all know plenty of them. I know plenty of them. Shit gets old. I know I'm rambling, but I'm sick and tired of all this. I'm sick and tired of it. You wake up every day, you know it's going to be a struggle. You know you got all kinds of shit to get through. And at the end of the day, you're tired, but your mind's running. You can't sleep. Why is that? In the year 2024, none of us can find peace. All this comfort. We have ran from nature this far to this much comfort where rarely do any of you get rain on your heads. Rarely do any of you actually get cold. Rarely do any of you get so hot that you need air conditioning. I mean, we are comfortable to a point of, what the fuck? Why aren't we happy? Why? We all know the answer. It's because this is inflated, that's inflated. Food is so high, it's like $1,000 to $1,500 a month for people to eat, especially big families. I've got 3 biological kids. I've got 2 stepsons. I have the stepsons 100% of the time. Actually, this is the first time in 5 years that they're going to be gone for more than a week. They're literally 7 weeks with their, we'll call him the stepdad, but he's the biological dad. I've raised his kids. That's another problem. You little fuckboys out there who don't raise your kids, I hope you see this and think to yourself, why am I such a piece of shit? Because you are, that's why. Because you don't fucking love your kids, you love yourself. People that love themselves shouldn't have kids. I don't give a fuck. I don't. I've raised kids, I've raised my own kids, I've never not been there for my own kids, so I will never understand a piece of shit who is not there for his kids. Or her kids, for that matter. I will not understand that. You people are a different kind of piece of shit. You need to just shove a whole bottle rocket up your ass and go deal with yourself. Because no one fucking likes you. No one likes people like that. You make what is already a hard life harder. And we have a system, like in Lawrence County, Indiana, where the entire system's corrupt. The judges are ultra corrupt. We got a dumb bitch who has daddy issues, and this motherfucker, if you are the stepdad, you're the problem. If you are the mom, you're the problem. But if you're a dipshit, wannabe, piece of shit, running around with a flat bill and shorts, fucking up people's lives, being on drugs all the time, if you're a complete useless waste of life, they will give you everything you want for that. As long as you got money. You get you a little lawyer, especially a lawyer like Woodward, who was in with the bitch, who worked with the bitch, which is a conflict of interest. All of a sudden, they get whatever they want. This dude, 100% not in their life. Chose drugs, chose his friends, chose women, druggy women. Some of them OD'd a week after being in my driveway. You know what I'm saying? Like, useless motherfuckers making everyone else's lives harder on top of a hard life. It makes it hard to want to go back out and hunt and film and do all these things I used to love to do and put them out here for you guys to watch. I used to love to do that because all these little adventures I had, I always was like, man, I like watching this stuff. I bet other people would want to watch some of my stuff. I'm into some crazy situations sometimes. So I was excited back in the day, but I'm not excited anymore. I'm just not excited to put anything out anymore. When I do, it's like whatever. You don't know who's going to get offended. I don't even give a fuck if you get offended. You're a pussy anyways. But you don't know who's going to throw a fit. You don't know if all the work you put into something's even going to matter. You could put all kinds of money, all kinds of work, get great video, blah, blah, and get 40 fucking views because you're not typing in the right shit for the algorithm, or you're not high enough up there to get whatever attention that you need from all these people, you know, to keep your views and flows going. So all this bullshit has taken away so much of me that I don't care much about the YouTube right now. But I've been working one profession for 17 years on top of several other professions between another profession that I work still. I've been doing for about 15 years. So that's 2 jobs I'm working for over a decade and a half while filming all the videos you guys have seen. While all that, and I edit all of it. Nobody does my editing. I don't know that anybody really films me. Definitely not anymore. But I can't think of any time that anybody's filmed me kill a big buck. I can't think of any time anybody's came out and been like, hey man, I want to film you do this, or I want to, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't happen. I film me, I edit my stuff, I post the stuff, I work. It's just a non-stop cycle of busy, 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 and not really getting to enjoy anything anymore. Between all the money that goes out, between all the bullshit that comes in, social media has become this frolicking jackass wagon. Like, there's just nothing good is happening anymore. The people I used to call friends, where the fuck are they? I've got 2 or 3 friends that have lives like I do. They have a busy life with kids they have to take care of. They don't have spare time, same as me, to come hang out all the time. But the other friends I've had use me. It's deer season. I'm having a tough, you mind putting me on, you know what I mean? Like, put people on big bucks. I've got several people on the biggest buck of their life. I barely talk to these people. They don't fucking care about me. They cared about the big buck. They care about getting on some ducks. They care about a big turkey. They don't fucking care about the individual who takes you to their spot or goes out of their way and does the scouting or puts you on the animal, takes their day to put you on it. They don't give a fuck. This ain't the 90s. This ain't any time before that. This is 2024 when people don't fucking care. You can do everything for somebody and they don't fucking care about you. You can even stand up for somebody's well-being and they're going to choose the negative rather than good advice, because the negative is comfort, whereas the good advice is you're going to be uncomfortable for a minute, but it'll be better in the long run. Right now, I know a dude who's multiple times at just 23, 24, talk about suicide. You don't have any kids, okay? You don't have any kids, you don't have any real struggles. Got something in my eyeball. So why are you going to sit here and be constantly worried about whether you want to live or not? Yeah, the world sucks. Yeah, they put shit in the water. But all the other stresses that the majority of us have, this guy didn't have. The only thing he had was a shitty little crappy girlfriend who tried to slit her own wrist, ended up cutting him. He acts like I don't know, but I do. But I stopped talking to him. I told the dude, listen, I care about you, but I'm not going to sit and watch this anymore. As a friend, I'm not going to watch this dude go down the same terrible path I've seen so many go through, the same dead-end road where she's going to physically and mentally abuse him until he's a shell of a person, or until he has kids with her and it's stuck. Her mom is a terrible person. Terrible. Cheats on her dude all the time. Terrible. I think she cheated on this guy like 5 times. They're married, have kids. He's afraid to get out of it because she'll use everything that she can against him. She'll get him for child support. He'll end up in a worse place than he was, getting cheated on. That's how bad it is. The other daughter to these motherfuckers has ruined another person I know's life. Shitty, negative people are literally the problem. On top of corruption. We're not going to get past that. But corruption is a big thing. Shitty, negative people is a bigger thing. Energy is everything. I don't believe in all the religious BS. I don't believe in any of the talk. Energy. You know when you meet somebody, that person's a piece of shit. or man, that's a genuine motherfucker. You know it in your heart. We all let this overlook shit because, well, I don't want to judge somebody just yet. Oh, I don't want to, just assume anything. All these instincts we have built in when you meet somebody and you feel negative energy are there to protect you. Stop allowing them to demolish who you are as a person, and then hopefully you'll come out on the other side. Who's trying to call me? Oh, it's my dad. Hello. Anyways, so energy, back to energy. Positive and negative energy is good and evil. That is literally the only good and evil you need to understand. Go back to good and evil, go back to energy, go back to vibrations. Forget everything you know, it's all bullshit. When you understand energy and you understand if you shake someone's fucking hand and you get a bad vibe, it's a bad vibe for a reason. When you shake someone's hand and you instantly feel comforted, that person is a healer. They're still grounded and connected to this fucking earth. Like every other animal, they're still connected and have instincts. You want to know why you and I don't have instincts anymore? Because we have gotten so comfortable and so out of nature, we don't know. We can't vibe on the same vibration levels. We can't feel the electricity through the ground anymore. Now, who's to say there aren't some of those people? I believe those people are probably actual, we'll call them witches. Whatever the church burned, if you didn't know, the church is based off pedophilia. I hate to break all y'all's little bubbles. Do some research. It's all based on pedophilia. It's giant schemes. If you want to get technical about it, it's a giant scheme developed by the same people that Jesus was. It's a fake religion to make you follow them anyways. Oh, he's a bad guy. Oh, we sent him out. It's the same people, dude. It's the same fucking... They fuck kids. They fuck kids. And y'all sit out here thinking this and that, Jesus this and God... No. That's a scheme. You're all fear-tacticked into believing you're going to go to hell and burn for all eternity. Can't worship any other gods, which is to suggest that there's other gods. That's in the Bible, by the way. Now, before I get too deep, I'll give you a little background. I grew up in the church. Every Wednesday, every Sunday, all the little extra schemes, all the little programs, big-ass fucking congregations up in Indianapolis. I mean, done it all. Done it all, seen it all, been judged all through it. I see what you guys pretend you don't see. Everything. When you go to these things and you see these hypocritical motherfuckers who are acting all Jesus, but they're really terrible people, that's a bad energy. When you see these really good people who don't go to church, but are phenomenal people to you, good energy. Both can be brainwashed by the same fucking system. Both can be on the same timeline of BS. 12 to 1300 years ago, your religion has a date. Sorry about you. Before that, it didn't exist. No mention of any of the characters. Completely different set of gods and rules and blah, blah, blah. Before that, same thing. Completely different set of gods and rules. Before that, completely different set of gods and rules. When religion fails, they move to another one. When religion crashes, they move to another one. As long as the people follow in line, we will never get out of this. We all know plants heal, right? You all know it. You're not fucking stupid. Nearly every fucking medical medicine, period, is plant-based. Chemical rebounded, chemical replaced, plant-based. Does that make sense to y'all? If it starts out as a plant and works, but they can't mass produce it enough, so they make a chemical into it, now it has a bunch of side effects. Fuck you, it still works. We based it off of this plant. If you break it down to that plant, the plant does not have the side effects. It doesn't. There's cures for Parkinson. There's cures for fucking cancer. There's cures for Alzheimer, I think is how you say it. Which is, what do they say? Is that's type 3 diabetes. It's not actually its own thing. It's type 3 diabetes anywhere else. But in this poisonous country where red dyes and yellow dyes are in every fucking food, making all the kids go loony, just fucking losing their shit. You see the problem here? Every bit of food you consume has some type of chemical poison in it. Some type of man-made, man-altered BS that actually makes us unhealthy. Whereas everything in nature, there's no cancer in nature. A deer don't get cancer. People and their dogs get cancer from people and dog food. Chemically made bullshit. Am I crazy? Or are you guys just really that wild that you think, fuck it, it don't affect me until it affects me? That's like saying, well, everybody that eats that gets cancer, but I haven't got it, so no worries. Huh? If every deer I shot had a disease, I wouldn't shoot deer anymore. If every fish I caught gave me the shits because I had parasites, I wouldn't fucking eat it. But I've never got sick from eating wild game. I've never got a parasite. I've never fell ill from anything. I don't even get poison ivy. I don't get shit. I'm into this stuff all the time. I don't get sick. I don't eat like y'all eat. I don't eat as much bread. I don't eat pasta. I don't drink pop. Like, if you see me drinking a pop, it's like once, twice a year. And that's out of desperation because there's no fucking water. I drink a little too much caffeinated BS in the morning. Not as much as I used to, but it's still poison, and I'm still drinking it. But how many of us overlook this? We overlook that. We just want, oh, this is the new product. I'm going to go try that. Oh, McDonald's has that. I'm going to go try that. Oh, they got a new flavor of Freeze at Taco. I'm going to go try that. Every fucking thing from these places is bullshit. We need to go back to gardening. We need to go back to hunting. We need to go back to actual freedom. We need to fight this fucking corrupt government for our freedom. It's not a God-given right to be free. It is your right as a thing on this fucking planet. A deer does not wake up and have to worry about going to a job. It doesn't have a fucking social security number. It doesn't. A coyote doesn't ask you for fucking permission to cross over and eat a rabbit or a fucking baby deer, a fox, a mole. They don't fucking ask because it doesn't matter. These lines we've drawn so that no one will cross them, they're fake. It's all fake. It's just a big scheme to make us all hate each other and be distant. When I was a kid, and this is not a fucking shitty little joke, this is facts. It didn't matter where I went. I could go anywhere. They would either give me permission to hunt and tell me to kill them all, or if I say, when I'm younger obviously, crossing lines, didn't know what the fuck I was, I'm just a kid. Crossing the lines, it's a fence, big whoop, cross fences everywhere. This place is riddled with fences. You run into somebody, oh hey, what are you doing? Oh, come from over here, blah blah blah, well you're not supposed to be here, but good luck. No shit. Most of the time they would just tell me good luck and let a little kid go hunting. Even if I didn't ask. People were just better. Now we're so selfish and greedy, none of that. They're just, oh fine, I'm calling the DNR. Oh, I hate that motherfucker. I'm going to call him anyways. What sense does that make? What sense does it make to hate each other so much that we call horrible people to come fuck their lives up? When it's just as easy. If I had someone crossing my property, hey man, I hunt this, I can't really have you killing my deer, I need to be able to feed my family with that. We'll shake hands and move on. That simple. If they start a fight, maybe we'll fist fight. But most people aren't going to start a fight on your property. It's not happening. I've never got shitty with somebody because I crossed over a line I didn't realize I crossed. It's happened a few times in my life where I crossed a line. People were like, hey, you know, you're not supposed to be here. You know, that's the line. Oh shit, my bad. As a little kid, we didn't have to care. There were hardly any lines to matter around here. Now there's a house up everybody's ass. In the last 5 years, I've had 1, 2, 3 houses built all the way around me. And this is a country lifestyle. We live in a holler. Not everybody's up each other's ass. Most people mind their own fucking business. And now all these houses are closing in. All this development around is ruining the way of life that we had. We're not far from not having it. Just saying. But, long ass rant, you know. I'm just trying to get my point across. I've got this many points to get across to y'all. That's probably a lot to people that can't, you know, understand the first one or two. I was highly religious, though. At one point in my life, highly religious, same as you. If you're still watching this, you didn't turn it off because I talk shit about your religion. I was the same way. If someone told me they didn't believe, I would try to convince them. Oh, this and that. And what about this? Once you get past that, you can see what's the point. What is the point in acting like some man-made religion's real anymore? What is the point in pretending all this negative that's happening to all of us, the depression, the hard times, the fucking friends dying, people ODing, people committing suicide, people losing their businesses. I mean, the list goes on of negative and negative and negative. Y'all are gonna sit here and tell me your God wants you to have a shitty fucking life for 1 or 2 times a week of having a smile on your fucking face? 1 or 2 times a week you had something good happen when you had 50 bad things happen? And then you're gonna try to tell me everything happens for a reason. No, it doesn't. Babies don't get cancer for a reason. Jesus is not trying to hang out with your baby in heaven. It's not real. That's your fucking mentality. Your kid got cancer because the fucking foods you eat and the foods you're feeding them. It's sad as fuck. And we're not going to sit here and keep blaming things that aren't to blame. We're not going to blame a fake fucking character that you call the devil. Break down for you. Lucifer was one of God's angels, right? Correct? In your little story? So he was mischievous and wanted God's place, so he cast him to live in hell in the middle of earth, is what they call it. To live in hell and burn and make all these other people suffer. Now he's a punisher. This is not factual. This is BS. This is articulated fucking crap to make you believe that one character's good and the other character's bad. Everything happens for a reason. But at the same time, that's the devil doing that. Remember? You guys saying that to people? Because I know you have. Not how that works. Everything can't happen for a reason if the devil can also control things. None of these characters are real. Get it out of your fucking head. Stop pretending. I've got a big stupid fucking cross tattoo because I was young, blind as fuck. Same as y'all were blind as fuck to the ways of the government 10 years ago. Same as y'all were blind as fuck to the pedophilia in Hollywood and our government, Epstein Island, all that. The same as we were all blind to all of this shit. I'm telling you now. Think about your goofy religion. Stop believing in it. Stop the bullshit. Stop the fucking cycle. It's negative. There's nothing positive about a fear tactic fucking religion. Oh, you don't believe in me? Hell. Oh, you don't do this? Hell. Oh, you said a bad word? Hell. Oh, you committed adultery? Hell. Well, then most of y'all are going to hell, because all of y'all do all them things. You see the problem here? You got half of you motherfuckers are out here mad as fuck watching this. Oh, this guy's full of shit. He's crazy. No, I'm just not blind anymore. I quit believing everything I was taught. You motherfuckers are going to sit here and tell me you went through 12 years of school, didn't learn how to live this bullshit life we're living. You're having a tough time now. And I'm wrong? No. School system, BS. It's part of the government. It's meant to create worker bees, stupid little fuckers that don't do anything else but create revenue, don't argue, I'm not fucking working for you, you're a piece of shit. They don't do that. They suck it up, they have a bad day, They go home, they have a worse day, and they go to bed. They start their next day off bad because they got to go back to this shithole they hate already. I've been there. I've worked at Walmart. I've did concrete since I was 8. Fucking worked at Long's Landing, which is the most corrupt, fucking goofy little furniture place. If y'all have ever got anything from there, Brad is a piece of shit. He's corrupt. I've watched him do some sketchy shit when I worked there. That's just what they do. Y'all got to get it out of your heads. These little crappy jobs where you are miserable the whole fucking time, get a measly little third of your paycheck, and then the rest of it, the government steals. If you have land, extortion every fucking year. I bought my land, I paid taxes on my land, I paid shit that they came up with when I did all that. Just out of the fuck, oh, this is a little extra expense here, a couple extra $100 for them. Had to pay it or I wouldn't get my fucking title. That's how it works. If they don't get money from you anymore, because I paid my shit off early. I don't like being in debt. So I paid it all off early. Here I am, fighting with them every fucking year. Now, this year in Indiana, they doubled our property taxes. So they doubled the hunting licenses and permits, then they doubled the property taxes. Gas prices is through the roof. Food is through the roof. Lumber is through the roof. I can't finish hardly any fucking projects because for me they're not that important. That they have to be done here and now. A little, trying to make things improved around my house, my garage, the kids' treehouse, that's more important to me. It was $1,000 to get a quarter of the boards for that shit. I'm just trying to be a good dad. I'm just trying to be a good man. But I can't afford to give my kids a good childhood because useless fucking corrupt little fucks, old, decrepit pedophiles are so corrupt that they inflated everything so they could pretend that we don't have this, we're just broke. And then they give it all away to Ukraine. Like 200-300 billion or some shit. How? I'm having a stroke right now. How? How do you give that much money away? Double my hunting licenses and fees, my fishing permits and all that. How do you double all that shit? How is all this going up but you're giving money away? How are all of you okay with it? I'm not fucking okay with it, but if I go down to the fucking courthouse and stir up something, they're either going to shoot me and call me a terrorist, or they're going to arrest me and label me a terrorist. They're the fucking terrorists. We literally have a government of terrorists terrorizing our nation. Every fucking thing they do is a crime against humanity. If people lost their business, that's a crime against humanity. Inflation over 30 some odd executive orders signed on the first day by a guy who can't read. He can't even make it to the bathroom in time. Yet he can write 30 some odd executive orders that crashed our fucking economy. You can't say I'm crazy. You can't. I've called myself crazy enough watching all you fucking loons go along with it while I'm over here losing my shit like why is no one seeing this? Now here we are, fast forward, almost the end of Biden's presidency. False presidency, let's correct that. And I'm sitting here wondering, why have I called everything that I've seen and people acted like I was crazy, and then it all comes to light, all comes to fact. It's on every show, every podcast, every post, everybody I've talked to, everybody. We all see it. We all see. But I was crazy? No, I'm not crazy. I'm just not blind. It's crazy until the mass starts to understand. Then all of a sudden, oh well, I already knew that. Well, that's not a big deal. No, it is a big deal. It's a really big deal. It's a really big deal when your friends and your family all struggle so much that nobody ever gets to see each other. That's a big deal. That's a big deal to me. That should be a big deal to you. That should be headline news, but our All our news is retarded. It makes no sense. It's about Trump and shit he didn't do. It's about riots that we don't give a fuck about. It's about people we don't give a fuck about. It's about Ukraine. We don't give a fuck about Ukraine. Israel and all that shit. We don't give a fuck. That is not our fucking problem. We have our own problems that our own government is causing, and we don't do shit about that. I'm not about to give a fuck about anybody else's shit if I've got all this on my plate to deal with. If I wake up every day knowing I've got to work all day, knowing at the end of that work I'm going to be tired and I have to do it the next day, knowing no matter how much of that work I'm doing, all of that money goes to inflated water bills, inflated utility bills, inflated lumber prices, inflated gas prices, inflated food prices, knowing I get none of that, no matter how much I work, I don't get any spare money to do anything. I can't even get a fucking battery for my motorcycle because everything is ridiculous. I can't even get plates on it right now because if I spent a little money on myself, I'm going to feel guilty because I have all these other inflated bills to worry about. If I get behind on them, now, oh, you spent a little money on yourself. You're the bad person. You should have thought of that before you... Fuck you. Fuck you. This was supposed to be freedom. I've got fucking 1776 tattooed on my neck. I give a fuck about this country. Don't sit here and act like I just don't like my country. This is my fucking country. Both from bloodline living here and bloodline that crossed to here, I was born and I was raised here. Half y'all act like you don't give a fuck. You ain't going to another country. We're not getting more soil. All this development that's taken over, we're not getting anything back. Thousands of years an area could exist. In just a couple hundred years, we come in as the awful little species we are and decimate an ecosystem. Creeks, rivers, lakes, woods gone, hilltops carved through for a road. I mean, we do so much negative, and then we sit with our thumbs up our ass when negative is being done onto us, and we just let it happen. We just let them wreck everything. What are we going to do? As a people, what are we going to do? Are we going to sit here, jackass around some more until we die, and then our kids are left in a worse situation where now they're going to be more slaves than we are now, more slaves than our parents ever were, more slaves than our grandparents ever were? Like, our kids are going to be in a shitty fucking spot, having to pick up the slack. If any of them have any balls, half of y'all are raising them to be retarded. Re-fucking-tarded. You throw a tablet in front of their face and you don't parent. Watch this. Oh, watch this. We'll do this later if you just watch this. That's not parenting. I don't care if you're my friend or not. If you put a tablet in front of your fucking kid's face or a phone and they're not 12 or above, you are a problem. You are not a good parent. I don't fucking care if this hurts your feelings. Do you know how many people I have to deal with who bring their kids over, and they're horrible kids? Most people don't ask. They just bring them over. And they'll be horrible. They'll come over, treating everybody like shit, throwing big-ass fits, and their parents aren't doing anything. They're not parenting. And then these kids will lose their battery or Wi-Fi and throw a fit. I mean, the way y'all let your kids talk to you, no fucking way. You pussy motherfuckers need to slap your kids across the mouth. If you ever gain a set of nuts, you'll raise your kids the way you were raised or the way your grandparents raised their parents. Something has to change. You're making dumb fuck little liberal crybaby bitches who are all fucking retarded and think they're gay or non-binary. Retarded is what they are. Re-fucking-tarded. That's all you're making. You put a tablet and a phone, and they learn this bullshit from that tablet or phone. You're to blame. As the parent, you're to blame. My kids don't have tablets. They don't. I will not allow it. You're not fucking sitting around on a nice, beautiful day inside. Get the fuck outside, catch a frog. Go to the creek, catch a crawdad. Learn the environment. Get outside and ground. Go play in some mud. Flick a fucking booger at your friend. Do something other than sit on your fucking ass and be miserable. When you make these miserable little kids who don't experience life, they don't have a childhood because they're inside on their tablet or phone, guess what's going to happen? They're going to be horrible adults. They're not going to be able to handle the word no. They're going to be either in jail or hiding in your basement. That's what you're creating. Basement dwellers, like the last group who made a bunch of fucking heroin addict and meth addict fucking basement dwellers now. Look at Heltonville. Half the motherfuckers live in their grandparents' properties, waiting on them to die so they can inherit it and lose it or sell it because they're fucked out of their mind. They're tweaking. I've never been into drugs. I smoke some weed. I'll smoke the fuck out. I'll outsmoke any one of you motherfuckers. I could smoke all day, every day, and do everything I do because I do. Nothing's changed. Every fucking thing I do still gets done. Every fucking problem I run into, I still deal with it. I pay all my bills. Everything's caught up with. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't have that guilty pleasure. I don't chew. I don't drink beer. I don't drink anything. Coffee. So coffee and some smoke's my two bad habits. And y'all are out here fucking smoking cigarettes, drinking beer, chewing tobacco, fucking popping pills, heroin, meth, blah, blah, fucking blah. And then you turn around and you raise your kid on a tablet. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You're going to sit here pretending that's parenting, getting mad at someone like me who's saying, get your kid off the tablet. Quit that shit. Maybe actually take them fishing. There is nothing better. If you have pets, I don't have the little dumb fuck barking and meowing pets because they're retarded fucking hairy idiots who shit everywhere. Awful. Reptiles is where it's at. Y'all have been trained to hate spiders and hate snakes. You're arachnophobes and fucking you see a snake and you cry. That's because your parents was pussies. That's because the system was a bunch of pussies. Hold a fucking jumping spider. Little black jumping spider in your house. It's not going to bite you. Don't pinch it. Just hold it. It's going to be healing. Get you a ball python. It's going to be the most healing you've ever done with an animal. Sitting against your stinky fucking dog, that's not healing. Throw a fucking python on your neck. Let it slither around. It's going to get comfortable. And you're just going to feel right. You're going to feel better as a person. I'm not crazy. I've just had pets long enough. I've had dogs and cats growing up. They only make things harder. They scratch shit up, they chew shit up, they shit, piss, they stink, blah, blah, blah. I've had reptiles now. The majority of the last 5 years straight, I've had snakes, bearded dragons, tortoises. I've got it all. Multiple species of lizards. I've got it all. They heal, whereas the other animals never did. These animals don't cause me a bunch of problems and make me think, fuck this, I'm getting rid of it. There's no chewing up anything. There's no shitting everywhere. I didn't step in piss or shit. My yard isn't riddled with piss or shit. I don't have fleas all over my house. I don't have any of those problems that you guys have with those pets that you're brainwashed to think are human pets. They're not. Honestly, we shouldn't really even have pets if you break that down. But if you're gonna, get reptiles. I promise you, get over your phobia. They will literally help you tenfold feel better about yourself, about your day. My daughter got a snake. So much more happy of a person. Every day since she's had it, she's been better and better and better. It's like micro-dosing mushrooms just makes you happier every fucking day, a little happier, a little happier. Makes all these stressful fucking inflation problems I'm bitching about not matter nearly as much. If you did, I haven't microdosed, but I know a lot of people that do. Done my fair share of studying it. I would like to. But at the end of the day, I have snakes. They help. but I don't hold them constantly. The kids hold them more than I do by far. Kids are obviously happier. There's no mess to clean up after. They're not getting bit. I guarantee you've all been bit by a dog or a cat. Most of you have never been bit by a snake. You've never been bit by a spider unless you pinned it down or rolled over it or something. I've never been bit by a tame snake, that's for sure. A couple wild snakes that I caught, water snakes mostly. The most aggressive water is a water snake, eastern water snake, which gets mistaken with a copperhead. They get mistaken with a water moccasin by people, probably like a lot of people watching this, who don't know, who are just blind. They've been taught dogs and cats are home pets, everything else. You've been taught your entire life that a serpent is the devil. Have you not? I promise you that's a lie. A serpent is not anything bad. It's not anything negative. You get you a good ball python, or hell, there's many other species. There's many other species that are docile, and it'll just hang out. They're not going to run from you. They're not going to bite you. They're not going to strike at you. They'll just hang out. That's simple. You've been taught your whole life to hate animals that don't hate. You've been taught your whole life to appreciate animals who attack people, who kill kids, who stink up your house, who fuck up your fucking side of your couch, shit all over your carpet and ruin that. You've been taught your whole life that's normal. It's not. It's just not. You've been taught a lie. Same as religion, you've been taught a lie. Same as this, whatever we call a culture that our government did. This was all a lie. We can all see it now. The pandemic really opened the eyes to many people. When they were finally able to be, okay, the government's lying about this, then they were able to see more lies. But if you've been seeing lies before the government started the coronavirus, then what? Then you go to Planned Parenthood, you go the White House, you go to fucking, when you get into talk about slavery, whoo, we all have an image in our head of slavery as if they beat them every day, as if they would kill them. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you don't beat your horse. You don't slaughter your horse because you're mad at it. You don't whip it to a bloody pulp till it's scarred and can't move for a month and a half. You don't do that. These people had a different mindset. They would go buy these slaves from other black people who were selling them. The first slave owner was a black man in America, in case you didn't know. Sold by black men to white men from Africa. We didn't go round them up. We didn't go catch people and call them slaves. We bought them from people from the same country, same continent. They were not white. These are black people selling black people. They didn't look at them that way. Those people looked at them as cattle, so those white people were buying them as cattle. So they were working them as cattle. You don't kill your cattle. You don't. There might have been some defiant ones that they did that shit with. That was not the majority of it. I'm not preaching for slavery by no means. Don't take that this way. I'm saying the shit they preach to make black people hate, to make young black minds hate white people, is only the negative. If you go around and say, this is the only thing that happened, slavery bad. Slavery is bad. Very bad. We're all slaves right now if you haven't figured that out. They didn't do that shit to every one of them. Most of them were treated very well, taken very well care of. They had their own homes. They had their own little families there. They were taught English. They were taught all kinds of shit. Nowadays, those same people are now free bloodlines. They're not slaves anymore. Nobody in this country was a slave then. That's hundreds of years ago and gone. It's past. It's time to look past that. We're no longer in that era. People are no longer slaves here. In Africa, they're still slaves. In China, they're still slaves. Guess what? They're still being sold by black people in Africa. Black people being sold by black people. Y'all don't give a fuck. Not one fuck. But over here, you're going to act like shit that happened none of us can control now. None of us did it. None of y'all were slaves. How is any of that relevant? It's past. It's done. it's gone. If we're talking about 200-300 years ago relevancy, why do I pay taxes? Why can I not own my own land 2 years? In less than 2 years of not paying property tax, which does not equal the property tax or property value. My property value, well over $100,000 for 5 acres. Well over. For less than $1,000, they will already go ahead and send me a letter. This is $1,000 behind on their extortion, by the way. Not anything I owe, extortion. A tax is an extortion. So 2 years behind, less than $1,000. They will send you a letter that says if you don't pay this, which is a threat, you will get your land auctioned off. It will not be your land anymore. They will steal it for less than its value, less than a fraction of its value, so they can turn around and sell it and someone else can pay that property tax every year. Do you see how this works? As long as you believe you have to pay it, you're going to pay it. What if every one of us today say, fuck you, we're not paying the property tax this year? Then what? They're going to try to start coming after whoever they think they can. It's up to us to stand up for each other. If they're going to take so-and-so's farm, it's up to the community to stand our fucking ground. You're not taking this farm. You will all die trying. And if they try, they all die. Move on to the next farm. You try to take this one. If you try, you all die. We earned this land. Earned it. That's all there is to it. If any other animal gets to live free, any other fucking animal gets to have its territory, why the fuck do I have to pay an extortion on mine or they can take it? I'm not preaching it because I'm just tired of it. I'm preaching it because it's wrong. You all, every landowner watching this right now, you're tired of paying property taxes. I know it because it's bullshit. You shouldn't be paying for what you already own. Everybody that has a 9-to-5 job, 2/3 of your check, isn't that what you get? Or 1/3, some bullshit? You get nothing. You work all that time to get a fraction of your money. They steal the rest, and come tax time, you, if you're lucky and can twist and turn enough of their little rules and regulations, you might get your money back. Most likely, you're not. Especially if you make more money, if you do a lot of overtime, you lose more money. They take more money. I've got friends that have no kids at all. They pay more in taxes than these people are getting back with child tax credits. Like, as an American person, that's wrong to me. If it ain't wrong to you, stop watching my fucking videos and go suck some more dick. Because you clearly are a fucking faggot. And if you're a gay bitch, fuck you then. Now, don't act like I just don't like gay people. Like, y'all are cool. I'm saying faggot as a fuck you, not faggot as a you're gay. But if you do suck a dick, you're gay. And that's an insult to men who aren't gay, sucking a dick. So, there you have it. That's my input on that BS. Y'all need to look a little deeper in yourselves. Stop acting like everybody that preaches this stuff is the one that's crazy. I'm not fucking crazy. I was in that religion. I did all that. I've been a part of this bullshit we call America nowadays. This is wrong. That's wrong. Everything's wrong. If all these things are negative and wrong, why do we still do it? Why do we still sit here day after day, night after night, thinking, working, and struggling, just trying to get to the next day, get to the next bill? Most of us don't get to go on vacation. If I go on vacation, it's a hunting trip that I intend to film for, and I intend to turn around and put that on my YouTube with an intention of it's an investment in my future. When that takes off, hopefully I don't have to work anymore. I'll be able to film more and not work other jobs. Then I can focus on the things I love to do as opposed to the things I have to do. You understand what I'm saying here? I'm saying, you're free, I'm free. Why do we have chains on us? Why are we all held down with permits, fees, taxes, fucking pretty much blackmailing us every step of the way? What do they tell you your entire life? What do they tell you? Homeschool kids are weird. Dude, the majority of old men you met as a kid were homeschooled. The majority. Old farmers, most likely homeschooled. The majority of the smartest people you've ever heard of didn't go to school. They didn't go to college. These people learn things from other people, which is the fastest way to learn. Putting it on a paper and repeating it the entire year, you're not going to learn it. It's a paper mind thing. It doesn't connect the same as, oh, this is how you do this. Come over here. I'm going to teach you how to do it. Then you're going to do one. You come over there and you do it. And then you know how to do the next one on your own. You've learned something. I learned how to run a tape measure from my dad. My dad taught me numbers. My dad taught me how to measure this or measure that through concrete, through construction, through building doghouses and shit. I mean, we've used math my entire life. My dad showed me most of that. What I learned at school, it's so minimum that it pisses me off when I see all these people nowadays have nothing. Like, we all learn math, but we have nothing. Like, if I can calculate, how can I not pay the bills and have extra money? It's just, nothing's adding up. Like, I can't go buy an expensive truck. I can't even buy a truck right now. I have no truck. My truck broke down 4 or 5 years back, ended up being gone. Over. No truck for me. Got a shitty vehicle, nothing but problems. Nothing but bullshit that kept getting more expensive to fix, to the point where I couldn't fuck with it anymore. Had to buy another vehicle. That vehicle starter went out. That vehicle starter went out, and it was $300 for a new one. $300. I used to get a starter put on any of my old vehicles, $60 to $100. $300. After tax, gas, all that, you add a little bit more. Probably over $300. Just now got it going. You get people in this world who will get mad at you if you can't say something for them in a time frame when you're over here trying to fix, say, a vehicle. Why is it I'm struggling in my own life to get something going that's more expensive than it ever was, and then you got people mad at you because you can't do for them? Y'all know what I mean? You got people like that. I know you've had people expect things from you, and you couldn't hold up that end because you have actual issues to deal with. That's where you get back to good and negative energy. You get back to people that can't see you're struggling and are still adding to the weight are a negative energy. I delete them from my life. No matter how fucking religious they act, no matter how good they act, if I get negative energy from you and it's bad enough, you're gone. I've kicked out more people in my life in the last 5 years from reading bad energy than in my entire life. 5 years out of 33. Used to, you just put up with it. You put up with negative people. You put up with a shitty relationship. You put up with shitty friendships. You put up with it. Why? So at the end of the day, you're really mad at those people. You don't like them. And you hate them. You get to a point where you hate people. Most of us don't like people. Correct? Most of you like your solitude. You don't want to be up everybody's ass. You don't want them up your ass. If I go hunting, most of the time I do it alone unless I take a kid or I take the wife. I used to take friends. Unappreciative motherfuckers who get what they want out of the deal and then they don't care. They get their buck of a lifetime or their turkey of a lifetime, whatever. And as a taxidermist and a friend, I would mount these animals for these people, mostly for free, usually for free. That'd be out of my pocket for the lumber or whatever to make plaques for fans or whatever. my time, my effort, my money, free. Give it to these people. We had an experience together. This beautiful mount goes on the wall. You can always remember it. And then they'll let their fucking dogs eat them. That's the most disrespect. Or they won't even say thank you. I've had friends not even say thank you for a mount that I did and gave them for free. Or some that I'll do for just material prices. If it's a deer head, material's around $300 nowadays. Used to not be this bad. So $300, my money goes into that. Not just their $300. My money has to go into that. My 15 to 18 hours of work goes into that. My mind, my effort. No one gives a fuck. I'm sure a lot of you have a lot of different professions where a lot of you have did nice things for people that were ungrateful as fuck. Or people that pretend to be your friend, but then they don't say, well, let's go to social media. They don't like, they don't comment, they don't support, they don't share none of your shit. There are people out there who will pretend to be your friend for all the positives, but they don't give a fuck about you. None of the in-between. But the second you say something they don't like, boom, there they are. All of a sudden they're talking shit. All of a sudden they're right and you're wrong. Y'all know them. I know them. I've got several of those people that I'm deleting from my life. Most of them have already been deleted. One or two more to go. That's how it is. You can't allow these people to leech off of you and take all the good out of you, because then the people who deserve the good aren't getting it. Like my kids, all these people I've did for, I could have put all that energy into kids that appreciated it more so. And I'm not saying I don't. I take my kids hunting all the time. Fishing all the time when we can too. But I took time out of my life, out of my season, out of my kids' season to help friends. Friends who didn't care. Gone. I don't care anymore. I'm not your fucking friend if you ain't my fucking friend. The world's too fucked up. The world's corrupt. The world's retarded. The fucking religious BS has gotten so out of hand that I get it. Some of you don't understand enough to say, get out of religion. Say you can't step out of it because you need that crutch. You need something you feel is a positive. If you need that, that's fine. Just don't let it control you. Because all these people that are controlled by religion are blinded by religion. If you put a blindfold on and you run down a fucking street where everybody's running, but there's bulls running with you, you don't know what's about to happen. Everybody else that gets to see it, oh, you're about to get hit, they might tell you, they might not. But if you actually take your fucking blindfold off, you can see these things happening around you. Stop allowing everything to blind you. Stop believing everything is coincidence. Stop thinking people like me are out here talking out of my fucking ass. I don't talk unless there's enough proof behind everything I've said to make enough sense to be truth. It has to have enough backbone for me to be like, okay, yeah. Because just like y'all, at one point I was so religious, no one could have ever told me any of this. I could have not talked myself out of being religious. That's how bad it was. Deep, deep, deep into religion, only to find out that entire religion was based off of pedophilia and corruption. It's a control tactic with fear tactic to hold you all in place. If you're all scared to do this, half you super religious people are scared to cuss. You're afraid of words that were made up by man because you think a religion has a God that doesn't like them. Man-made words. Okay. How many languages are in this world? How many languages speak curse words or types of curse words? I think all of them. It's wild to sit here knowing as much as we can know, and we still know nothing. You can know everything and know nothing at the same damn time. Once you grow out of certain things, it takes time. You don't just one day go up and say, I'm I don't believe in that anymore. That's weird, but no, it's still, well, that's kind of weird too, but no, that's, there's an explanation. Everything happens for a reason. It's a process that takes time, and then one day you go, none of this is real. This was just these little barriers that faded now. They faded. They were barriers that stop you from doing so much, but then once you've taken them out, you see so much further. Like, holy shit, I didn't know about this. I didn't know about that. I couldn't see this. I couldn't see that. Once all that's occurred, now you're sitting there wondering, well, what the fuck? Because everything you've been taught's a lie. Everything you know is a lie. Everything you do is a lie. Half y'all, you think, let's talk about religions. You sit here and you think, not relationships, you think you're supposed to work on a marriage. You think it can be horrible and negative and toxic. You think they can slap you, hit you, abuse you in any way, shape, or form, and that's love? You just have to stay in it because you're married? I did 12 years with a miserable human being who made my life miserable, who made me go from 147 pounds to 225 from severe depression. I allowed that to happen. I didn't stand up for myself. I kept, oh, well, their feelings. Oh, well, their family's feelings. Oh, well, this time, I don't want to waste all. There was always an excuse, and every one of them strapped right back around to religion, telling me, you're supposed to work on this. It's not always easy in a marriage. No, it's not always easy in a marriage, but you are not supposed to constantly work. It's not supposed to be fighting all the time, making up, and it's better for a day or two and then you fight again. It's just not supposed to be. It's not how anything is supposed to be. Here we are, 2024. People are finally awake thanks to the OnlyFans girls who think they're superior now because they can make thousands of dollars with sticking a carrot up their ass on video. 5 years from now, that ain't working, honey. That's over. 5 years from now, carrots don't look so good going up your ass. They don't. That's cool at first. But then what? No one wants to fucking marry you. No one wants to settle down with a porn star, let alone a fucking OnlyFans nasty person who profited off of all the creepiest perverts in the fucking world. No one cares. We don't believe you. We don't believe you're strong, independent women. We don't believe you're smart. You're unintellectual individuals who sit there and pretend that you're doing something. All that well is going to dry up. It's going to dry up and be gone. Just like you. You're going to dry up and be something nobody wants. There's no way I'd ever date an OnlyFans girl because everybody, especially the people who shouldn't, which is the creeps who pay for it, have seen it. I don't want a woman who multiple people have seen, let alone the county, the country, the world. Nobody does. No real man wants a used up fucking wannabe independent woman. An independent woman isn't the idea of an independent woman. It's a woman who gets up and does her womanly duties, same as I do my male duties every day. As a couple, we work, teamwork together. And now that can mean anything. You could be, say you're poly and you have multiple people. Say it's 3 people, 4 people. Those people have to work together to make life work. They don't independently do their own thing and it's fuck you, do as I say. It's I'm leading as a male. I am a fucking leader the same as a gorilla. All my females listen to me. This is the guidance. I guide you in the right direction. If I'm guiding you in the wrong direction, you wouldn't be with me. That's how that works. Same as if you're just a regular couple. It's a single guy, single girl. If she's a feminist idiot and not a smart feminist, well, feminist idiots aren't feminists at all. They actually believe they can do without men. They think they create life. You have dead eggs. That's it. There is no life in you unless a man puts it in there. We create millions of lives a day. Y'all don't do that. You can't. We have XY, you have X. We're smarter because we have both genos in us. We have superior intellect, superior experience. We do more, we can do more physically and mentally than females. It's not to say females don't have super high quality. They have tons of things they can do we can't do as a man. Anyways, but these females have tons of things that they can do we cannot do. Tons. Like taking care of kids. Hey, I've taken care of my first Etch-a-Sketch. I've taken care of my second born. The entire time I was both doing taxidermy and tattoos all day while watching a kid, literally bouncing a kid while working the entire year. Men are not meant for that role. We don't have the patience. We don't have the energy. We're just not designed to nurture as well as women. I did a good job, but I could have done better. Women, they would have done better. Maybe they could have even done better, because this day and age has taught women to be lazy and sit on their cell phone and throw a tablet in front of their kid. But I've talked about it. It's not parenting. You're not a parent. Just because your kid survives childhood doesn't mean you raise them. And if that doesn't make sense, you're not a parent. And it's apparent to me that most parents aren't parents. Y'all know it, I know it. It's sad. Doesn't matter how much you hate me. Doesn't matter how much my opinions or my views might sound crazy or seem hateful to idiotic people who are usually the hateful ones. But at the end of the day, I'm sitting here speaking up, knowing the internet ridicules people for speaking up, knowing half of what I say does sound crazy to people who don't know yet. My own parents are two separate worlds. One has no clue. Epstein Island, fucking pedophile, Hollywood, no clue. The other one sees it. You see the problem here? They clearly don't communicate. One's clearly not leading the other, whereas I lead my family. My kids, my wife, lead. I take them down. This is why this is wrong. Not, that's wrong, don't do it because I say. This is what's wrong with that. Here's the proof. Sometimes I'll even show my 11-year-old, because she's not stupid. She's smarter than most adults I've hung out with. And that's saying something, because I've hung out with a lot of people. But my intellectual 11-year-old is able to see people like Joe Biden are evil, creepy monsters who are not normal. First time I ever showed her the videos of him sniffing kids, you should have seen her face. It's like when a little kid sees how gross an old person is, it's like, whew, I'm glad you can see it. This way, I know if there was ever anything, you could say something rather than just be a dumb little kid that doesn't know. Like, you're going to be a victim if you do not know. If you as a parent don't address these things with your kids now, they could be a victim. They may not know what to do. Speak the fuck up, same as I'm doing now. If it means something to you, speak up so the rest of us can communicate. That's what this whole thing is supposed to be. I'm going to try to get my setup better, get it locked in, start having guests. Any of y'all want to come out, we can have a conversation. I've been on multiple other podcasts, and they get a lot of views. Say they don't get that many views, but I'll jump on there and they get a ton of views. So I know both my friends and my foes watch. You can be my biggest hater, but you're still fucking watching. At the end of the day, you still want to know what the fuck I have to say. There's some shitty motherfuckers out there who deserve to get their ass beat. But I dropped it. I was gonna whoop their ass, but they didn't show up. So I dropped it. It's not that important to them, so it's not that important to me. Dropped it. Whereas, at the same time, if you don't like me and you want to go, we can fucking go. We go right out back, whoop your ass, call it good, shake hands, smoke a doobie in the fucking in the aftermath, and we'll figure shit out. Because that's what men the fuck do. We talk about it or we fight about it, then we work together. If we can't work together, don't fucking come around. Period. If you can't shake my hand after a fight, don't come around. If you can't come and fight as a fair, man-on-man fist fight, I won't fight you. I'll fucking be carrying my gun. If you think you're going to come stab me like a pussy, I'll shoot you in your face. It's that simple. You unalive pussies. But if you want to fight, we can fight. Any fucking day. End of the day, most people don't fight. Most of you motherfuckers are afraid to get your ass whooped. You're literally afraid to lose a fight, not to lose a fight just in that. You're afraid what everybody's going to think about you losing. That's pathetic as fuck. People like that, you're not a man or a woman, whatever the fuck you think you are. You're just not. You're not anything special. Anybody, if you have to call all of your fucking friends, all of your fucking family, and have them talk you out of it, I'm gonna do so. You're not a man. You're looking for an excuse. Stop talking. Go sit on the couch. Think about your life. You're not a man. Grow the fuck up. Get a pair. We can talk. People like that ain't shit. You ain't shit. I know you're watching because you ain't shit. And these people that ain't shit love to watch this shit. So that's what this podcast is. It's going to be us talking, the community, whether it's hunting, fishing, corruption, fucking religion. We could talk about how they're poisoning the crops, how that seeps down into the water that's underneath in the irrigation systems and pours into the creeks and streams, how the turkey are all affected by it. We're having white turkey here and new bars down the middle of their fans here and double spurs, triple spurs, double snoods, locked up like scabby looking birds. I mean, we've got so many things going on. Their hooks are super curved. I mean, like, one thing after another with turkey. And then you got deer where they're having underbite, they're having antlers grow out of their fucking eyes and cheeks, they're having droopy antlers is a big one. I've actually got one just yesterday in my yard because I started letting half of it grow up like a field. Had a buck in my yard, which never happens. Both sides drooped. Both sides of his skull aren't growing hard bone. They're growing soft, weak, mushy, foamy-like bone. This has gotten worse and worse in the last 4 years, so much so that it went from one yearling a year was on average for 15 years. And in the last 4 years, I think every year I've got 7 to 10 deer on cameras on multiple properties in 2 to 3 counties with droopy antlers. Their bones are not the same. I've got purple antlers. I've got the nubbed off. It's where they didn't fully finish. They just like nubbed off. The albinism is insane and piebald. Used to, a piebald or albino deer was so rare, if you heard about it, you had to go see it. Oh, that happened? Well, let's go check it out. Nope. It's so rare, I can name off 3 piebald or albino in the area within a mile of my house right now. Alive. Not dead, not killed, alive. Call me crazy, but y'all can look back to 2019 or 2020. I killed a leucintic squirrel in Lawrence County on that same property. That was a gray. There's a red squirrel now. There was also a white turkey. The same property. There's a crop at the bottom of the hill and a crop on the other side of the road. You can call me crazy, but I guarantee all of you guys that run trail cameras, especially for whitetail deer or turkey, or hunt as much as I do, you have seen in the last 3 years deer with these effects or with the big warts things all over them, the piebalds, the albinos, the weird turkeys. I mean, it's a never-ending amount of things that are fucked up. And the only things that are factoring in, COVID. They lied and said COVID was in the air when it was in the water, clearly. That water is the same water that goes to all these crops, the same shit that drips right back down, all these pesticides, GMOs, whatever the fuck. It's all connected. It's all doing the damage. It's doing it to us.
Y'all don't feel like normal people, I'm sure. I don't feel, half the time I'm like, dude, I don't do anything. I don't drink. I don't smoke cigarettes. How do I feel like shit? I'm extremely active, especially when I'm hunting. I hike a lot. Hills, hollers, sweat my ass off. I should be healthy. My lungs feel like shit all the time. My body aches. I get weird cramps, random like numb spots out of nowhere, like numb pain. I don't know if you ever had a numb pain, but it's a thing. All these things are connected. We are just another animal species on this planet. If you're eating wildlife, well, definitely if you're eating the shit from a store, but if you're eating wildlife, you're probably getting the same stuff all these animals around us are getting. If y'all have seen the pink katydids or the pink crickets, that's another part of it. That's like the albinism as an animal. They turn pink. So weird. Not an animal, like a bug turning into it. But I've got proof after proof after proof after proof. Thousands and thousands of people's pictures they posted saved to my computer of deformities. Taxidermy pages, hunting pages, so on. These are people that see this isn't normal. What do other people think? In the comments, it's just, I've been seeing a lot of that lately. Dude, I pay attention to everything. I'm like glued to the BS to try to figure out what's going on. I don't give a fuck if anybody gives me any credit. I just want everybody to see it. I need everybody to see what's going on so that we, as a community, as a people, can fix it. Because right now it doesn't look good for our kids. Doesn't look good for our future. Doesn't even look good for 2025. Do you think 2025 is going to go smooth? You don't think they're going to steal the election again? Right now they've got him convicted of 34 or whatever false, made-up fucking felonies. My ass. They're making it so the one man who has been standing in their way can't. That's all they care about. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. I don't even think they care about themselves. They just care about the money. As long as they can get more money. And then you got a whole other group of elites, as we'll call the old pedophile people, these decrepit monsters. They call them the elites because they have all this money. There's a whole group of them who are trying to thin down the population. I don't have a problem with thinning down the population because there are too many people. Why don't we start where it matters? Pedophiles. Well, that's a hard one. You take a pedophile and you pull the old rope up the old oak. We started. Boom. Do you know how many pedophiles are out there? You watch those predator pages same as I do. You see these people get caught, these little fucks in your neighborhood, these little creeps at Walmart. These people are out there. Take all of them. Every one of them you can catch. You don't get to fuck kids. You don't get to hurt kids. Done. We've started. Then you move on to the murderers, the people who go around and they don't ever do anything right. They just kill people. We got prisons full of them. Why? I can't imagine a single reason in the entire world to keep horrible people alive on tax dollars. To constantly do this. Those places get so much money per inmate that they're the ones keeping this going. They're pressing it. If it was up to all of us, these murderous monsters who have 2 or 3 life sentences, which makes no sense because you normally don't live past 90, let alone die, start over, have another lifetime. How the fuck are we gonna, oh, you're getting 2 life sentences. Huh? I thought we were modern. What's modern about pretending we have more than one life to serve in prison? Why keep them alive on tax dollar for no reason? They killed kids, or they killed people, or they fucked kids, and y'all are out here thinking they have rights? Nah, man. Any of those people do any of that shit to my kid, they're gone. Gone. completely gone. Off this planet. If I have to go to prison for doing the right thing, fuck all of you. I'll go smiling, and while I'm in there, I'm going to be cleaning absolute house on them until the point where they got to lock me in a room or kill me. That's all there is to it. Y'all allowed this. Your little emotions, you let women allow you to think stupidly, and women think with their heart, not their mind. Emotion is not anything. It's not going to get you anywhere. If you're emotional about this or that, oh, they have lives too, they have family. I don't give a fuck about your family. If you're out killing people and raping people, I don't give a fuck about you or your family. Your family's probably just as bad. Truthfully, where are they at? Let's go start to figure out if they're good or bad. We have got to draw a line in the sand now. No more, you can get by with it. No more, well, they'll spend some time and they'll get better in jail. Like, they act like they're going to send them to jail, and it's like some magical rehab that's going to make them better, and they're going to come out and do the right thing. Huh? You think you're going to take a rapist or a murderer or a pedophile, put them in jail for a few years, and they're going to get out and not do it again? No, because the entire time they were in there, they're thinking about what they could do to not get caught next time. Y'all are full of shit. Stop thinking with your emotions. Stop thinking that it's horrible to kill horrible people. It's not. That's the only thing sane that could ever fucking happen at this point. If you could logically think, well, how do we fix the world? Well, you start off by thinning the population of horrible people so they stop breeding, making more horrible people. Then what? Automatically everything's better. Right off the bat, you take off a few million pieces of shit and the entire world is better. But I'm just some redneck sitting in his garage, probably get called racist again because I'm bald, because a woman stressed my hair off my fucking head. And you got these fucking idiots out here call you. I've been called racist more times since I went bald than in my entire life. Solely for being bald and white. Bitch, you're racist for even saying it. That's pointing out my color, A. Oh, you're bald and white. Michael Jordan's bald and black. He's actually racist, but while we're pretending that white people are the only racists, all bald people must be skinheads, right? Or is it just white people? Because I don't go around nitpicking. If a white lady brings a black dude to the fucking family reunion, hey man, what's up? What are you about? What's up? You learn them. You see if this dude's a good person or a bad person. The other way around, the second a black dude or a black woman brings a white partner to the family reunion, why'd you bring that white bitch here? White this, white that. Look at that white bitch. You know how many people have confirmed this? Black people. They're the ones that tell me. Like, they're racist as fuck. Racism is pointing out your color and saying you're bad because of this. So, I'm a terrible person because I lost my hair and I'm white. But my dad, who's redder than a fucking strawberry because he's got so much Cherokee in him, that guy's not racist if he goes bald because he looks dark. Now, my father-in-law, who is Filipino and black, super dark. We get along great. No issues. If anything, I'd say he says the more sketchy shit than I say. I'm just saying, I'm talking because we as a people don't talk anymore. Most of the podcasts you see, they're bringing on a bunch of stupid OnlyFans girls and then they're roasting them about how smart they are and they're not, when in reality it's just a bunch of little beta boys who are pretending that they're real men. They're not. These aren't men that men would ever hang out with. I couldn't, hey man, let's go wading with these guys. No, they're not men. They're little boys who sit in front of a computer and pick on girls who are dumb. That's wrong and not what this is going to be. So, for any of y'all watching, if you're still attached to this hour and 40 minute long fucking rant, If you ever want to come on here and you ever want to talk, we will sit here, we will have a conversation. The set's going to get better. Right now I'm just sitting where I edit. I'm tired of waiting. It's been 2 long fucking years of trying to get out of Biden versus hell to get this podcast set done. And it's just not happening. I'm not worried about it right now. I'm going to go ahead and kick it off. We can talk. You don't have to agree with me. You don't even have to keep watching. You can watch this once and say, fuck that guy, he's crazy. Move on then. I'm not talking to you. If you can't see it, then I'm not talking to you. You're blind. I don't talk to blind people more than once. Rephrase that, because there are blind people who actually would listen. But probably going to end this pretty soon. I've ranted. I've burped through it. I've fucking stuttered through it. Anything and everything. I'm just telling y'all, this is number 1. This is the first podcast, if that's what you want to call this one. It's the number 1 lead into what we're going to start doing. So if y'all want to come out, message me. If y'all want to come out, comment. Let's set something up. What do you want to talk about? Do you see something I said that you full-blown know is bullshit? Come tell me. Come explain your side. I'll explain mine. We'll find common ground, or we won't. That is literally the beauty of actual freedom. We don't have to agree. We can come to a standstill and say, fuck it, next topic. You know what I mean? If you're stuck on yours and I'm stuck on mine, we move on. But there's no way that I'm sitting here alone in all of this like y'all don't see it. Corruption's real. It's all everywhere. BS, shitty baby mamas, shitty fucking religions. I mean, the fucking nature itself being corrupted by man right now with chemtrails or whatever else you want to believe in. We can talk. Let's have a conversation. So, I guess to end this, I'm going to say, all y'all who stayed through all this, appreciate you. If you didn't care what I had to say, you don't have to come back. I don't care either way. But if you want to talk, you want to have a conversation, we can do that. If you think this is the kind of shit you want to hear, share this shit. Tell other people, hey, this guy's fucking crazy. You should listen to him. If I'm crazy, fuck it. Crazy people get just as many views as people that are logically speaking with facts. My facts, I'll do what I can when I'll probably have to edit this a little bit, but when I throw this up, I will try to throw in some of the proof that I'm talking about. So it's not just me sitting here explaining, oh, this is what I see. I've got proof. I've got proof, and I'm going to try to allow y'all to all be able to see it. So that's the end of this one. This is episode 1. We still haven't decided on a name. We're thinking maybe the People's Podcast or something. Maybe, fuck, who knows? Call it extortion talk or corruption talk. We will speak about what the fuck we want to speak about. I'm not going to censor you. You can talk about whatever you want. They might censor us later, but I'm not going to be doing music and none of that BS on here. I'm not trying to get banned from playing a song I like. That's retarded. But as far as all the proof goes, I've got a hard drive completely macked full of it, a secondary hard drive macked full of it, hidden away with all the same stuff as the first one, just in case, because you don't know when they're going to come try to wipe this proof out. Or just wipe it out. I don't have it linked to a internet connection, so they hopefully can't, but we'll see. So, if y'all want to watch the next episode, I'm going to try to do them every week. I'm a very, very busy man. I don't usually have spare time between 5 kids, bills, work, life, filming, so on. But I'm going to still try to do this every week. I try to come up with new topics. That's another thing. If y'all want to hear about something specific, even if it's from this one or the next one, you can comment it. You can message it to me. I am willing to listen and talk to anybody on this fucking planet. Anybody. I don't care. You could sit across the table from me. We could sit and talk. You can sit right next to me and we can sit and talk. It's going to be a safe environment. It's not going to be any BS. I'll probably be the only one packing because I can't trust people. Y'all can pack too, but I'll expect nothing but normal behavior. If I see somebody do that, I'm going to do that right back. But that's just because we live in such a sketchy society that somebody's going to not like my opinion. Somebody's going to want to do harm on me eventually, if they don't already, because they're pathetic. But that's all right. I'm cool with it. At this point, we have one life. The only thing guaranteed is death to each and every last one of us. So if at the end of the day I'm going to die, then I'm going to at least die knowing that I've stood my ground, because I am not about to die on my knees. It's not happening. I will stand and fight one way, shape, or form until the day that my last breath is breathing. So, for y'all, appreciate you. To the next time, I hope y'all stuck around. I hope y'all got some information you cared about. If you think I'm crazy, that's cool. I think y'all are crazy too. So, till the next time.